Hey everybody, good morning. Real quickly, I'm not going to do a long transmission, but I was thinking about the end of the world type of people, the reset people, reset at the end times, the end of the world, the birth type people, maternity, birth, and then people that are like Satanists, like death cults and all that stuff. And so all of that is a pattern in nature. And so I remember the conspiracy world where I was checking up like on the Denver International Airport conspiracy, and they have that horse Lucifer or something. And you know, when there's patterns in nature, and if you have enough access to knowledge over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, you will see that there are resets. I mean, when people don't take care of their bodies, you can look at just somebody in your family that they're going to have a birth and a reset. They're going to have a birth where there's decay going on, and then there's going to be a reproduction. There's going to be a pregnancy. You'll see a chaos and a fall of society, fall of your body, when you are like in hospice and things are so chaotic that eventually death is imminent. And so all of these people that talk about the end of the world, or you see the Illuminati, and yeah, you see the Denver conspiracy stuff. I mean, if you ever Google Denver conspiracy and the Denver International Airport, and you see all those pictures of just like world, like different people and skulls and some other stuff. I mean, you'll see it. I think there's a picture of them like all like a bunch of people joining hands together. Eventually, hold on a second, I blow my nose. Eventually that is going to come to pass. Okay? It's not like we are not ever going to see a reset. Just like when you watch somebody in your life just completely abuse their body and they start degrading. It's like watching a fall of society. It's a gradual degradation. So in a human, it's like a gradual degradation over like 60 years in humanity, with different stages of evolution, different stages of genetic lines, and how long their telomeres are, and how long genetic lines are. You'll see a constant fluctuation of stability and instability. You'll see people who have issues are going to be unstable in like the ghetto, and you see that people who have controlled some of their issues, they may have a bit more money and they're in the upper middle class part of the neighborhoods. Okay, so it's like, hey, Maria Kavanaugh. So it's just another pattern in nature. And so there are people that know, that can see patterns at the microscopic level, and then are able to translate it to the macroscopic level. And people can say, well, every 100 years, some kind of plague happens. Well, look, every 100 years, you guys seem to change your generations. Maybe there's a correlation there somewhere. In some way, shape, or form. At some point, when you keep reproducing on bodies that are really, really messed up, at some point, the body's going to revolt. When you apply so many cures on the body, okay, that are antibiotic, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antimicrobial, the body is going to revolt. Okay, and so it's just inevitable. Some people say like, oh, well, they planned it, they did this. Hell, I could tell you that, if you told me your predispositions already, when you're doing the protocol, I know what's going to come up for you. Oh, they'll be like, oh no, Jillian, you planned that. You hurt me. You did this, you do that. No, I just said, hey, I know you have predispositions. You have cancer, you have disease, you have chronic illness, you have other issues. When you do the JJs, that shit's going to come up. And then they don't really listen to me. And then when that comes up, they're like, oh my God, Jillian tried to hurt me. Just like, oh my God, Bill Gates planned this. Just like, oh my God, the Illuminati planned this whole worldwide pandemic. And I'm just like, nope, it's just another pattern in nature. It's so predictable as the sky is blue and the sun comes up every day. Okay, humans are freaking predictable. They think they're all unique and special. No, you're not that special. Nobody is special. Okay? We're all just another pattern in nature, and just because we can make a movie, just because we can make, certain things out there, and we have more, I'd say, we have the ability to process information and invent stuff over a dog who is just kind of like living at the seat, flying from the seat of their pants type of thing, still doesn't mean that we're not subject to the patterns of the universe. We're not subject to the elements, to the different processes that give life or cause death. Except we know now how to, instead of just saying, okay, well, you're born and then eventually you're going to die. We're saying, hey, now we've figured out that maybe we could actually harness the elements of life and continue to live on an indefinite basis without reproducing and without dying. There might be death at the microscopic level and life, but that's called cell regeneration. That's called apoptosis, autophagy. If you can do a life and a death and a life at the micro level, it will not translate, as far as death will not translate at the macro level, and you will continue to live. But when you are inhibiting cell replication at the micro level by taking antibiotics, anti-inflammatories, antimicrobials, antivirals, anti-parasites, antifungals, and you are taking out organs, taking out little things and taking out cancers and taking out this and taking out that and cutting into your body and causing more trauma to the body, more antibodies, and then you're not really releasing at the exponential level, guess what the inevitable is going to be? You got an expiration date because you're not actively regenerating at the micro level. Okay, so it's basically a pattern in nature. If you don't see it, then you will continue that pattern of death until you interrupt that process. Okay? And so that's all we're introducing with the J Juice. That's what this whole coronavirus is about. That's basically Judgment Day. Look at the Bible. Look at people who prophesy stuff. It's not that they had any kind of insight on what's going to happen, like some angel told us. No, they just saw patterns in nature. They saw it at the micro level, knew how to translate to the macro level. That's a true scientist that can both see the relationship between the micro and the macro. They're not mutually exclusive. They're not separate. They're not like independent of each other. No, the micro and the macro are completely two of the same things. And if you don't see that, then you will forever think that you're special. You'll live in a vacuum and think that nothing happens except that, it was meant by God. Well, God and what? I mean, God is just life. What's death? Satan. So God and Satan, if you want to really characterize what life and death is. No, you have the absolute ability to harness the elements. You have the absolute ability to keep the pattern of life going without completely destroying the whole human body. Because you are made up of this earth. You are made up of a microbiome of proteins, viruses, protozoa, parasites, fungus, bacteria. You are made of all of that. And then you try to take all these things that are anti any of those things. You are chipping away brick by brick. You are taking your body down brick by brick by brick. And the amount of you absorbing is going to be way less than the amount than you're actually releasing. You're releasing more than you're absorbing. You will eventually have nothing left. So I just woke up this morning, didn't have my coffee. I just wanted to say this about, the whole Homer Simpsons, the end is near, the end is near. Yeah. They're like, oh, they planned it. Oh, this guy, Edgar Casey, he's like this visionary or something, or this guy is doing this and this guy does that. No, it's a fucking pattern in nature. If you understand patterns, you see them repeat. Now you just have to understand how it does it in time. Sometimes it may take 100 years, sometimes it may take 50 years. And then you can accelerate the time. How do you accelerate time? By accelerating the aging process, because that's how people relate to time, is the aging process. If there was no aging process and you didn't have, a clock right in front of you and you didn't count the days, the months, and the years, it would just be the same day every single day, and you would still look the same because you're taking care of your body. So there would be no time. But what is time? Time is when things are born and when they die. That's how time has been created, is from life to death. So maybe we need to, reevaluate what life here is on Earth. And that's what's going on. So maybe this new reset is going to be a turning point in how we perceive time, life, death, rebirth, reset. And that's it. All right, bye.